tournament silence.
Anticipation is the level.
Oh, goodness! That ball have a family!
Welcome back to High Sox, episode 16. Low IQ, High Sox, High Sox.
Sweet
Red
16,
Pod.
huh?
Sweet 16, quinceañera. Oh, that's 15. Actually.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, that's 15. 16.
Why is it? Why do I always think 16 is that? I don't know.
Well,
it's the maybe I'm just thinking of Sweet 16. I don't know.
Well, no, it's Sweet 16. That's right. But then in like Mexico and some like other Spanish-speaking countries, Latino countries, they do a quinceañera, which is 15. So I wonder why there's why is there a year between, like, why do we do 16? They do 15. You know, I guess it's just all sort of arbitrary.
We all have different ideas of when like you enter adulthood. I think. And so for some people it's 16, some people it's 15. I think it's probably like 25. That sounds about right to me.
Actually, that is so true. I don't think I really even started to think about like how to live a life until 25-ish.
No, it kind of hits you one day.
Like, oh,
you know, it could even be after 25.
Yeah,
honestly,
you know, that's a few years after 25. Probably, yeah. I'm probably exaggerating.
What's the last year of brain development? Is that 25 or 26 or mid 20s?
Yeah.
So I think that makes sense in that regard.
There's a rent a car thing that I never understood because everybody's like, you can't rent a car until 25. That's not true, by the way.
Is that not?
It's not true at all. I don't know why that ever became a talking point. It has something to do with like insurance expense instead of like actual able to rent. It has something to do with your insurance premium or something is going to be up for like if like or like if you get into a car accident with your car insurance isn't going to cover like something if you're under 25 renting a car. I think it's just all based on that. But you can still rent a car. I did it several times before 25. So
makes sense that you'd be able to. I mean, it's such an arbitrary cutoff.
Yeah. But anyway, I think
for that to be true,
I think I'll suggest 18 should be when the party is because that's it's 16 and I don't know. It's 18. Yeah, 18. Because you can, you know, finally get cigarettes. You're an adult technically by society.
Yeah, but I was saying we got to move that. We got to move that up.
Oh, okay.
You don't need an 18-year-old. You know, well, you can't not anymore. It's 21 now for cigarettes.
Oh,
at least it is in Ohio. That changed a couple of years ago, which I think was a good move.
Dude, Elly just got of age to smoke a cigarette.
Good for him, man.
22 or whatever.
I hope he starts soon. He's gonna need to. Bro's gonna be on the Reds. He's gonna be like a 5-time All-Star at this point. Final year of his contract. He's gonna be like smoking 2 packs a day. Just like, when am I gonna get off of this team, man? What's going on?
He's only got until like 2028 as it stands.
So it's coming up. Yeah, it's coming up soon. He just got selected as an All-Star for this year, finalized.
Yep.
Is this his second appearance as an All-Star?
Yeah, I think so.
Or yeah, that sounds about right to me. I know we're a Reds baseball podcast and we should know this off the top of our heads. I think that just sounds right to me.
It was last year. In this
right. Year. Yeah.
I'm gonna double check because that's gonna bother me. I'm
sure
99% sure that was
the lone Red representative. I know we talked before.
Yes, he was an All-Star in 2024. Okay.
Do you think that an Andrew Abbott got snubbed, or maybe even a TJ Friedel? I mean, you're kind of pushing it with that. I know Reds fans love Friedel. I think he's a great player. And Abbott too. He's had some great games. I just don't think I think people looking at a bubble, you know, and just think like, wow, this is a great player for the Reds.
Yeah.
Where on other teams, they'll be good, but they're not going to be, you know, all-star contenders. I think maybe that's what we were looking at here with those two. Elliott's just a clear cut. Honestly, he should be probably starting in that game, but he is a reserve.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could definitely say that Abbott got snubbed. But he's competing with a lot of good people right now. He's competing with a lot of good pitchers in the league. If you're looking at the National League, you're looking at Zach Wheeler, Paul Skeens, Logan Webb. Like these are some big names, and it's looking like on this list at the very least, he doesn't really break into it really that much. He's kind of on the higher end of like 1 through 10. So
yeah.
Lower, I should say.
I think he's had a great first half of the season. I know there's maybe he's got one start left before the All-Star break or something like that. Marred by a few,
a couple bad ones.
Not so great starts, which is just gonna happen. But if you want to be, cream of the crop, if you want to be top of the list, you gotta be on it.
Yeah.
And someone who is on it right now, was Zach Wheeler, who we just faced.
Oh yeah, he was great.
In Philly, complete game, 1-run game.
Yeah.
He pitched just a little bit over 100 pitches. I mean, that was a game that how can you compete with that guy?
Yeah.
How can you compete? We got close. We had a solo shot to take the lead, but then we couldn't do any damage against him, unfortunately.
No, I mean this Phillies series was kind of the first one where in a while where I think they kind of pulled down the Reds' pants and were like, "Hey, you're not that good of a baseball team," and that's probably true and probably the reality of the situation. I mean, they kind of they took 2 out of the 3. We still have not been swept yet this year.
I know,
which is crazy. The last team for weeks now have not been swept, so that's pretty wild. But yeah, Philly looked like they could have swept us. I think it just showed that we were facing like a real high caliber team who I think is still top of the NL East right now.
Yeah. And that first game, remember, it's a 9-6 win that the Reds had, but they were still, coming back in the late innings of that game. It was not over, and it kind of exposed some issues that we have with the bullpen, which I think we all recognize as being a long-standing issue. Not one guy, maybe I could give it Graham Ashcraft, and Emilio Pagan's been pretty consistent. But when you're throwing guys in there like Taylor Rogers, who is like my arch nemesis on this team, I'm sure he's a great guy, but I've said it before, is that I was pumped to have him sign on the team, and he's just been such a disappointment. And there's a couple examples
where he came from. I don't know where he came from. I don't know how he.
I want to say the Giants, but maybe
was he
I know his brother.
He was like one of the late signings we did before the season started. That sounds about right. He just seemed like a good guy to kind of round out the pen, and we put him in low leverage situations now, and he's still giving up runs. He can't get through an inning without some bad pitches on his end. So just disappointing. I mean, I'm glad that we got out of that series with 1 win, but for being a sweepless team or a team that has not been swept yet, you'd think we'd be a little bit better than just like hovering over 500 right now. Sweepless team. Actually, Ben said it on one of the last shows. He was saying that it makes sense that we haven't been swept because we are like a super average team, and so you may be good enough to, you may be bad enough to lose 2 games, but you're good enough to win at least 1 game. Just because of the nature of how this team is almost balanced, completely on a pin, where it's we're not really shifting into either direction where we're really good or really bad. And so that promotes an average team that is probably going to split a series if it's a 4-game, or win 1 or win 2. And so it just seems like we truly are still weeks now, 16 weeks of doing this. We really have not broken away from 500 the whole time.
No.
So it's just, I think we would have been thrilled last year, maybe, or the year before. This would be a really good year for the Reds, being consistently above 500 or at 500, and not slipping 10 games below before the All-Star break. But right now you're this team is needs to do better. It's we got Elly, yeah, but our lineup's inconsistent. Our bullpen sucks, and it's just. So I think that's why. I think that's why we haven't gotten swept. And Ben kind of said it first, but yeah, it is surprising because the Phillies showed us how you become a perennial like playoff team or how you become a division winner because they're probably going to win that division. So
yeah, man, they have. They had big contracts. When you look at Bryce Harper, he was a huge contract at that time when he signed from the Nationals. He's been around for a couple of years now, and they got like veteran guys, which is just something that we don't have. I mean, when you look at that lineup, when you look at Trey Turner, when you look at Schwarber, when you look at whoever we just mentioned who was pitching, and now his name is escaping me. Zach Wheeler.
Don't forget Real Muto.
Real Muto, of course. Yeah, one of the best. I know he's not having like a great season. But he's still like that veteran presence. Castellanos.
They got what's that one guy, the third baseman's name? Baum.
Alec Bohm.
He's a decent hitter too, and he's not defensively that great, but he's good in the lineup. It's fun.
You heard about it if you watched any of those games. John Sadak kept saying like the first 6 guys in this lineup, 5 or 6 guys, is trouble. Like you are just like catching your breath after every time you make it through and hit that 7th guy, because it is just a minefield of super talented players. And great for them, good for them for being that team and making those great decisions, making those great signings. Because they acquired those players, a lot of those players from other teams, just slowly over time, and now they've become this like super consistent team with a lot of veteran presence. And I think it goes a long way. We just don't have anything like that.
That's a team that really has matured into like a full baseball team that can basically has any shot to win the World Series any given year. And I know you can talk to a lot of Phillies fans who'll say stuff like, "Oh, they stink. They never win." And we always, they went to the World Series, right? Against the Astros.
The Phillies?
Or not the World Series. Who did they play? I don't know. Whatever. They played in the NL. They played in the NL Championship at one point.
I know we were rooting for the Phillies that one year.
Yeah.
To go all the way, and they didn't quite make it there. But
so it's like Phillies fans might say it's a bad team, but like this is a team that matured over time. They, like you said, they signed Bryce Harper, and then they acquired like Turner from the Dodgers, and then they got Castellanos from the Reds, and like it was like a slow build into this full team with like what you said, this strong veteran presence, and that just becomes probably the best lineup in baseball, I would say. I can't think of any other one.
It's hard to beat.
I was thinking the Dodgers, but not even. I don't think the Dodgers have a better lineup than the Phillies. With everything.
Yeah,
like on paper, I guess. Not really like not looking at the current statistics, but like on paper, you take these guys over other those guys, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Freeman's still kicking around there. Mookie Betts, of course. And obviously Shohei.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when you think about consistency, like Philly's tough team to beat. We did, again, break off one of those. But I think before we move on from the Phillies series, we have to talk about Chase Burns' 3rd appearance as a starter.
Yeah, not bad.
I kind of called my shot and I got pretty accurate. I said, this is going to be a rebound game. 7 strikeouts. He got 7. He gave up 1 earned run, and
wait, you
later
get strikeouts and you got 7?
Yeah, I even bet on it, which I don't often do.
Oh,
I won a couple bucks. Yeah.
How much did you win out here?
That was a good day for me, actually. I bet $1 on that, and I got back like $4.50. And then I bet like 25 cents on a string of games to go my way, and they all did, 4 of them. So I made out with like maybe like $12 that day. So it was a pretty good day for me. Betting big. Don't gamble, everybody. But because I always get in this mindset of like,
oh my god,
man, if I just put like $500 on that game,
such a slippery slope.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm just like trying to be sane with it. Just do like under $1, $1 at most.
Oh man.
But Chase Burns, Chase Burns, 4 2/3 innings.
Yeah.
Ended up giving up 2 earned runs after the pitcher after him gave up the guy at second. But 7 strikeouts. You look at that and you say like it's a good game for him.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it
I
a
mean,
full rebound game? I mean, like I guess anything would be better than what he came from before. Couldn't even get out the first, so I'm happy
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, and I mean it's very clear that they were taking his pitches. They were finding something in his delivery, which is all part of the game. It's like part of the game within a game, as overused as that is. But it's like, they were picking up part of his, like the way he delivered or like the way his hand was. I don't remember what the suggestion was. But he was tipping his pitches the second game. Comes in, settles down obviously, and gives the Reds a chance to win, which is I think all you can ask for a guy that spent 15 games in the minors, who just kind of got thrown into this rotation in the middle of like a battle for the, at least seeing that there's a possibility the Reds could be competitors, and you're now relied on to like take the ball every 5 days. Like that's crazy. That's crazy what he's doing. So like it's going to be interesting how his role develops, because Greene had another setback today, which we were going to talk about a little bit. He had an MRI.
Yeah.
They saw something they didn't like, some inflammation, and they're going to sideline him again, just take care of him, which I think is the right decision. But now it's like that's going to be a long-term process maybe, and we might not see Greene till maybe August, or God forbid, maybe even longer. So now this dude has to come in, like Chase Burns has to come in and just like compete, like, and all of a sudden just like take this team into a wild card spot and be that guy that every other 5 days. Like, I don't know. It's going to be interesting with him. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I know you mentioned Greene in a chat earlier. I did not see what happened exactly. Is he still on the 10-day? Is that still what they're like designating him as?
Well, no, he's on the 15.
No,
I think he's longer than that. I mean,
he's probably but they're just not willing to say 60-day or whatever.
I think if it did happen, I would not be surprised if they put a 60-day on him.
It seems like at this point, even if he comes back in August at the earliest, it seems, mid to late August, it seems like a wasted season for him. It's such a shame, because, man, was he just like this like shining star on the team. I mean, if he stayed healthy, slam dunk, second All-Star on the Red squad this year.
Ace.
We were saying Cy Young in the beginning after his first like 3 starts or 4 starts.
A little bit of clickbait.
But I mean, a little bit. But part of me did truly believe that he was in contention of that. I think you'd be lying if you thought he wasn't. I mean, he was named the best pitcher in the league for at least a little bit, until he just got these setbacks. I don't know what the solution is with him out. I have a hard time believing that Burns, whether or not he's going to be able to get the chances, because he wasn't able to get himself out of that jam that he got himself in to even go 5 innings, even though he was pitching pretty damn well against one of the best pitchers in the game. Or if they're just going to say like, you know what, calm your nerves, you got a taste of it. But who we send him back down in replacement of, unless we sign a pitcher, unless we sign some, mid-tier, more veteran presence, like the kind of guy that like Lorenzen is now, where he's not the worst on the team, but he's seen better days, but he's a veteran. You kind of trust him to at least put up a decent start.
Yeah.
Do the Reds go after that? If they do, then that's kind of like, okay, so we're here again. we're not being competitive. We're just trying to stay afloat.
I mean, if they signed a starting pitcher, I think I'd raise my eyebrow first, but then I'd be like, well, that's interesting. Because typically those I don't know. I mean, that seems like an expensive deal for them, for one, and also it would. I don't think it would be worth it, because you want to use your time and your money and your resources to go for a bullpen or go for a hitter in the lineup. So I think the starting pitch, despite this problem with maybe Chase Burns having to step up and be this guy in the rotation for the rest of the season, or you just go with like somebody in the bullpen, or like sign somebody as a hitter, because I don't know, because you want to leave him in that spot. So sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But
yeah,
and then just like having him there, it's like, okay, that's great, but if you sign a starting pitcher, then you still have the bullpen problem, you still have the lineup problem. You're not really getting what you should be getting. You're focusing on something that probably is okay for now. You can put a Band-Aid on it,
right?
Put it on ice, and then go think about how you can add a power bat or a veteran in this lineup, and then figure out the bullpen. Like, figure out how to fucking... Maybe that's the priority. It probably is. It probably is a priority for them coming in as buyers.
Yeah, I mean, the soundbite that we got before from the Reds organization was, we're waiting for these guys to come back. That's going to be the juice in our lineup. When they're talking about
Who?
and Austin Hayes coming back, CES Marte coming back, and then they're still saying Hunter Greene, is going to be that guy. But if he's facing another setback, we already got those other guys back. I mean, I'm glad to see Noel Marte back, but I know that he's not going to be the difference maker that we hope he could be. He's going to be probably an improvement over CES. I mean, dude has continued to have issues hitting. They even took him out of third base the other day because defensively he was making mistakes. And so they said, let's put Marte in because he's going to perform better. But we're running out of these guys that were excited to come back. It's just Hunter Greene now. Is Hunter Greene going to come back and be immaculate like he was before? And if he is, great, but it's still not enough.
I think you can just bet on this Hunter Greene thing being a problem for the rest of the year. I really think that at this point. Mm-hmm. So I'm not thinking about him.
Yeah.
And honestly, this organization has been swindling us by making us believe that the talent that heals and gets off the IL or comes up from the minors is going to be our answer. They're like, if this condition is met, then this next condition can be met. It's like, that is not the case. Like, these players weren't that good before they went on the IL. Like, Marte had a couple good weeks when he was here. CES, I mean, what can you say about CES?
He'll have like a clutch hit every now and then, and we think, this is it. Here he is.
But who is this player? I mean, he doesn't.
I don't know.
He doesn't really belong on this team, unfortunately. I mean, you can't wait forever for these things to pan out. You're just wasting time.
Right.
So
kind of like I'm getting that way with Matt McClain, unfortunately.
No.
They put him in the bottom of the lineup and he's back hitting second in the lineup. And I just get the feeling that I'm not seeing him like he was that first year. And I think we all are still thinking that he is that good. He does belong in the 2 spot. But we just haven't seen it since the first 2 weeks of this season. We have not seen it since then.
Yeah, and that's like why you really. It's ironic because what I said earlier was that you can't wait around for like something to pan out, but at the same time, you need to see very consistent hitting before you like take stock and take value into a player. You need to see it for a whole year and then some. We really had such a small sample size with him before he was injured, and then after that, it's like, he was on the IL for a year, And now it's just like you couldn't have those expectations. But we need to see more from him before we make those decisions about players. And he might just profile as like a mediocre hitter. I don't know, like
Right.
so.
Right.
At what point? do you-
Replacement level at best at this point. So
So
I don't know if I truly see him
yeah,
getting back to that point. I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like I'm starting to get a sense of who he is as a player, and he's kind of like the embodiment of the Reds right now, kind of streaky, but more often than not disappointing.
yeah. So yeah, that's exactly why you can't take stock into what the owners are saying. Like, what they say, like once these conditions are met, we'll be good. It's like these players weren't good before, or they only had a small sample size. So
Yeah.
I think you need to definitely target a lineup guy, get the bullpen right, and then maybe there's a shot for us to compete for the wild card. But we'll see. I don't know.
Maybe. My hopes for that are ever fluctuating, as the game tonight ends with a 5-1 victory for the Marlins in Cincinnati. Never really looked like we were in control of that game either. So I don't know. We've been kind of on a downward spiral, even though we're taking a game from the Phillies, a game from the Red Sox, just staying afloat. But speaking of short sample sizes, obviously we know that Terry Francona is first year manager for the Reds. We're about halfway through the season. And I did take a look at this past week.
Okay.
And I just kind of I'm thinking about some of the decisions that he made, and I want to get your opinion on it.
Yeah.
Of course, we also know that Joey Votto is an avid chess player.
Okay.
That's why I'm calling this best move or blunder.
Oh shit! I like that.
That's right. We have two.
Do you have a sound effect? Clapping?
Yeah.
Clapping?
Here we go. There it is.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
No,
don't worry.
Okay.
No, don't worry.
Okay.
Everyone heard it.
All right. Sweet.
So I just took a look at this past week, and we already kind of talked about one of them, but I want to talk about two managerial decisions that Terry Francona is making, and you have to tell me which one is the best move and which one is a blunder. Okay, you have to give one of those decisions one of these titles here. Okay. So number one,
that's one of them.
One of them has to be a best move, and one of them has to be a blunder. You tell me which.
Okay.
Let's talk about the one that we talked about briefly before with Chase Burns. Okay. As you know, he's going up against Zach Wheeler. It was a 1-1 game. He was maybe getting a little high in the pitch count, not too high, but he was right there, close to finishing out the fifth inning. 2 outs left. He had a man on second. 7 strikeouts on the day. What happens? Terry says, "Let's take him out." Now, the explanation that we got in the broadcast was he wants to take him out when the moment is good. He's done well so far. Let's give this man some confidence. Let's give this kid some confidence in his third appearance as a major league player. Obviously, there's some context to that because the next pitcher who comes in gives up a hit, scoring the go-ahead run for the Phillies, and the rest is history. Okay?
Yeah.
What do you think about that move? You don't have to give me an answer right now, but what do you think about that move as a manager? Would you make the same decision?
I mean, I think that you could look at it 2 ways. You could say, okay, how do we get the most from our pitcher right here and right now? Or how do we protect this kid and his emotions and say, how do we give him the confidence to go moving forward the rest of the season? So in that regard, I think, maybe Terry was thinking I could, make sure that he has some confidence, and just give it like a good omen, for his next start, and try to make sure that we kind of sort of coddle this young pitcher, make sure we make him feel good. And then probably other argument, is like, it's frustrating to see the bullpen come out and blow another game. So I feel
almost immediately too. I mean,
yeah, but in that scenario, like, who's to say he wouldn't have done the same thing? Like maybe at that pitch count, at that level, with that much pressure, like we're not talking about it because we're talking about it because like we didn't get a chance to see the other side of what happened there. But honestly, in that situation, would you trust him like more than a guy that comes out from the pen and has pitched like in 150 games or something like that?
Yeah. The thing that I keep thinking about is that if we have put so many expectations on this guy to come in and be that fifth man in the rotation. We say like, yep, let's skip through most of the minors. You're ready, And so part of me wants to say, well, if he's so ready, then let's maybe not give him a chance, for the win in this case, but at least like let him work his way out of a jam, because it's not like he was blowing up the game like he did in Boston. He is pitching, inning to inning with one of the best in the game. So part of me wants to say, give the kid a chance to get this out.
Yeah.
Maybe that next batter would be his final batter, regardless of the situation. And then you can make a move. But he was dealing, I mean, did he get himself in a little bit of trouble in the first inning? Yeah, but then he came back and he was striking out dudes left and right.
Yeah.
So I was a little questionable about that when it happened. I don't know if I really agreed with it at the time. I don't know. I'm a little iffy on that. But that's where I kind of stand right now. I understand also, let's protect him. But if we're saying he's ready after 15 games in the minors, then maybe let's show him that we have some trust in him. Yeah, he had a terrible second game, but then pitch your way out of this jam in the third game. He was doing well.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one.
It's a tough one.
I'd be curious, and we'll never know, or we'll never hear this answer, but I'd be curious to hear Chase Burns speak on it.
Yeah.
He won't, because it's a manager rookie situation. He's not going to go out publicly facing and talk about a moment like that, especially when it didn't really matter. I mean, it mattered.
Yeah.
It's one game, whatever. So, but yeah, we're not going to hear that perspective. I guess it all just depends on like what the relationship is and how his arm was feeling, how he looked. Like, there's tons of different signs that you'll see from the dugout about how a pitcher is expressing himself, or the sort of mannerisms he has that you can't necessarily see on TV. Or maybe, they talked before the game and said, okay, what it was, like 80s set, like 70s pitches, 70 pitches.
He's getting up there, especially for it being, the fifth inning. So, or the fourth inning, really. But yeah, he was definitely getting up there.
So maybe
sure.
Maybe they talked about a pitch count too before the game. So it's hard to say with all these different things that we're not seeing or understanding. So with that rationale, I'm going to say that was his best move as manager.
Well, we'll see what you think about this second. Maybe you'll change your answer, but so far you think that's the best move.
Oh, yeah.
The second scenario here, okay? Now, this one also has added context, just like the first one with the next pitcher eventually blowing the lead, or blowing the tie, really.
Yeah.
And this is all about Rhys Hines.
Oh, God.
Rhys Hines, the young right-handed batter that keeps finding his way up into this major league team. He just got sent back down to AAA today because I believe Connor Joe got reactivated from injury. But so there's the added context. But the situation was, I just noticed that Terry was definitely playing the statistics on these decisions to start Rhys Hines, who's hitting 119, mind you, over Will Benson. Now, Rhys Hines is a right-hander. Will Benson is a left-hander who has trouble hitting lefties, of course. Will Benson's now 1 for 13 on the season against lefties.
Yeah.
That one hit being a home run against Philly on Saturday, being the lone run for that Reds team. Do you agree with Terry doing this? Because 119, that's only 2 hits out of the 23 chances he got, something like that. So it seems like he's just hoping that this guy's going to work out. He's going to get the pitching matchups instead of maybe giving a guy like Will Benson, who is a lefty who has trouble with lefties, maybe some more looks at some left-handed pitching. Maybe he's going to make contact. Maybe he can make something happen. Maybe he can kind of overcome that. Will Benson's definitely going to be sticking around a little bit longer than Rhys Hines.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? What do you think? Is this the best move or a blunder? What do you think about Terry's decision on these matchups?
Yeah, man, it's so hard to say because I think either Rhys Hines could be like he could be like as good as Benson or he could be better. I don't think he'll be worse, but I think maybe Terry's thinking that having a guy like that come into the game with not a lot of experience might be worth it more than Will Benson, who is probably going to be sent down as well at some point in the season if all goes well.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like he's sticking around, I mean, I know he didn't start the season on the roster, but he's more or less become, if not an everyday man, an every right-handed pitching day man.
Yeah. Yeah. To bring it back to that, I don't know. I'm gonna say that might be a blunder, actually.
Yeah.
It might be a blunder.
Okay.
Because you have some success and some proven success with Will Benson. So why not just take that opportunity to put him in?
Show him some left-handed pitchers.
Yeah.
See if he can make contact with it. It seems like, especially with a guy like Rhys Hines, who I think we can all imagine he's not going to be an everyday guy. Maybe he'll never be an everyday guy with the Reds. I don't see what we're really looking at him for. He came in because we needed him. You can say the same about Will Benson, but he's done it for a couple of years now. He's like 27. He's been coming up for the Reds for a couple of years now. I don't know. To be blunt with you, I don't like either of these things that happened. So are you gonna go with starting Rhys Hines the blunder here?
Yeah, I think it's the blunder.
Yeah.
Again, you can't really wait for these people. If you have this system, you can't just wait for like some rookie who's never had any games to like go 2 weeks without a hit, And Will Benson has, or not a week, whatever. Will Benson is like, he's the guy we've had some success with. We have moments where he's made a huge difference. So I do agree. Put him in those positions. Maybe we can improve upon that product.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I do think that while we had Rhys Hines, maybe I see him as a bench bat. Maybe come in, see if you can do some damage at some point. Maybe you give a guy a day off like a Benson, but every time a left-handed pitcher starts a game, you put him in. Not a big fan of that. That being said, of the two scenarios that I put in place here, I'm going to say that one is the best move, and I'm going to give the blunder to taking out Chase Burns, just because I do truly believe that if we want to put all of our faith in this guy, if we really want to show that we trust him, I want to see him work out this situation. I know it's a close game, but sometimes you got to just go with the guy who's dealing. And at that moment, Chase Burns had been dealing. I mean, 7 strikeouts and 4 2/3 innings. It's nothing to sneeze at. Yeah. Nothing to sneeze at. Zach Wheeler did end up getting like 11 that day, but he had 9 innings to work with. But I mean, I like this kid. I want to see him continue to pitch and pitch well. So he's gonna have to be putting himself in these kind of like high leverage situations. Wow. So I'm gonna call that a blunder.
Wow. Okay. Wow. I mean, wow, it's so hard to say. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
And but maybe he does need a. What do they say? Kettle meets pot. Pot meets kettle. Cup meets kettle. Kettle meets stove. Pot meets stove.
Sure, man. Yeah, work through
What
it.
is it?
I don't know what you're saying. Calling the kettle black?
Is that what it is?
That's the only kettle idiom that I know.
I think it's pot meets stove. Pot meets stove. You know?
Mm-hmm. Stove meets
Pot.
fire.
Okay. could be electronic.
In this new age of electronics.
It's been around since like the 80s, I think.
Oh man. All right. That's been Best Move or Blunder.
I love it. That's good. I can't wait to see what
Thank
next
you.
week is going to hold.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what the comments are on that one. Am I off?
The comments are going to love that one. That's your best.
Yeah.
You
You like that one?
You can do a lot with it too. You can
Mm-hmm.
you can go talk about players. You can talk about fans.
Could be anything. Yeah.
Fan tries to catch a ball and he drops his baby or something. Best move or blunder.
Oh, that's a tough one right there, man.
Home run.
What's that one gonna be?
Home run ball to get the Reds into the playoffs this year. Like the Jay Bruce
drops his baby.
So drops his baby, catches the home run, like in
the beer cup.
Yeah, it's something really dramatic. Catches in the beer cup.
Yeah,
baby's fine, by the way. So maybe the best.
Everyone's fine.
Everyone's fine.
Mm-hmm.
The baby fell, but thankfully nothing bad happened. It just kind of fell, and then he was like, "Wah," and they picked him up.
When that happens, we'll have to revisit that question. I foresee it. I feel like that walk-off home run ball, and you know who it's going to be with that walk-off home run? Will Benson.
Oh,
the king of hype whenever he hits a big home run like that.
If Will Benson hits a home run to get us into playoffs, it's going to be so electric. Like, just to see him go fucking ham. He'd be smashing his head on the ground. He'd be doing cartwheels and shit. Yeah, bro.
And I hope it's against the lefty too. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe Terry's listening to this podcast and he's like, you know what? Maybe maybe they're on to something here. Maybe I just gotta go with my guy, you know?
Takes out Elly De La Cruz, puts Will Benson.
Put in Will Benson. Golden Bat Rules puts in Will Benson.
Golden Bat Rule, Will Benson. Put him in.
Oh man.
Here's our golden bat today. He's like, I'm taking out Elly. What?
The crowd's what's going on? What's going on? Will Benson struts his way to the plate. He's looking mean. He's looking focused. He's honed in.
Strikes out.
Strikes out 3 pitches.
Strikes out looking. Red from the playoffs.
Oh man.
So I don't know where else we're going with that, but yeah.
No, that's it. I don't have much to say about the Red Sox series. To be completely honest with you.
What do you? Nice to win one.
It's fun, you know. Nice to win one.
Sweet Caroline. That's what they sing at that part.
You know, I really don't like that song.
I like that. That's a cool thing they do.
I really don't like that song. It's a cool thing that they do. I'm happy for them. I'm sure I sang it when we were in Boston.
Yeah, bro.
But man, come on. That song sucks, dude. I fucking hate that.
I don't think it's like a great sing-along song. I don't hate it for some reason.
I think that's why I hate it. I think I hate sing-along songs.
You know what's becoming a sing-along song? Is the West Virginia song.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
Everywhere.
They play that.
That's in every sports game, every sports like whatever.
They were playing that in overseas football games.
Yeah, bro.
They'll be like playing a game in like Germany or whatever.
Yeah, no.
That's like the American anthem to anyone outside the U.S.
So crazy. Like Germany and England, they sang that song. They sang that West Virginia song. What is it called? Virginia? It's not called.
Yeah. Mountain Mama, take me home, Country Road. Take me home, Country Road.
Yeah, it's
Something like that.
It's Country Road. So Country Road, and they do it in England during when the Country Road group. Okay. They do it.
People know what we're talking about.
Yeah, they know what I'm talking about. My girlfriend, she used to go to this like ski town in on the top of Italy, and she would always sing that song like out on the deck, like in front of the slopes in this like mountain town in Italy. So this song just gets around, I guess. Like people fucking love it. The Europeans love it, dude.
Yeah, man. I'll take that over Sweet Caroline any day of the week.
I agree. Yeah.
Any day. You know what it is about Sweet Caroline? I think I found out why I don't like it.
Uh-oh.
It's because people add in the ba ba ba.
Oh. You don't like that?
It's not in the song. It's not in the song. What are we singing to?
We're
making up our own lyrics here?
Is it
No,
not
it's
in the song?
No.
What?
Sweet Caroline. And people add in the ba ba ba.
No,
they don't do that.
That's in the song, bro.
No, pull it up, man. Pull it up right now. Listen to it. People start adding this shit in.
Why do people do that? Here we go.
I don't know.
Go ahead. Little Neil Diamond.
Touching hands.
Where's the chorus?
Reaching
The
out.
chorus comes up 1 minute into the song. That's too long.
Yeah. Well, it's a big lead up to that moment. People know what's coming.
Oh, well, the fucking horns do it. That's why. The horns.
Yeah, we're not horns. We're not horns. Why are we doing this?
The horns go.
It's not. A horn doesn't sound like ba ba ba.
Right,
It's a horn.
What about Seven Nation Army when everybody goes like boom 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 boom, or they go oh 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 oh, same shit.
I don't know. I think it works better in like that soccer chant. That's like I see that as a soccer chant for sure. I know they do it in other sports, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
I saw like that. That's kind of like what you would hear in jolly old England,
Jolly old England.
Jolly, and it's got the hand claps to it too, and people are clapping, people are stomping. That is like an energy enhancer.
Did you just do that?
That is an energy enhancer. Bull.
It's like that's offensive to somebody, I think.
This is my impression of Paul McCartney doing that. This song. I think I wrote a song about this. I like it.
Why I'm losing my mic. Why is Paul McCartney like geriatric in this like impression?
Have you seen him recently? I mean, God love him. He's a Beatle, but geez, he's still kicking around. And he's God love him for it.
Yeah. But does he can still speak like?
Oh yeah.
Do shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He just came out with an album. I'm pretty sure.
His daughter's a fashion designer.
Oh no.
Yeah, she's like 6
good?
years old. Yeah, sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. She what's her name?
It doesn't matter.
Stella McCartney.
Stella. You know what? Stella. That kind of rolls off the tongue though.
Stella McCartney. That's
Stella
good.
McCartney. That sounds pretty sick, dude.
You know what it is? It's the vowel at the end, leading into McCartney.
Stella McCartney.
Yeah, without that vowel, I think if it's like a
Stella McCartney.
That sounds terrible. You made that easy. I was about to throw a name out there, and I couldn't think of any names with the end of a comma.
Well, Ben's not here. Ben McCartney. I've been McCartney. I don't think so. I don't like it.
I'm Ben McCartney. John has an N at the end of it.
I'm Ben McCartney.
John McCartney. That's not a foul.
No,
But
I understand.
no.
I feel like if this is news to me.
But you know, when you say the N, you say John.
Junna? I almost broke into a different impression there, and I stopped myself.
I laugh.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Nah, it's not that kind of show.
I can't. That's terrible.
That's it.
No.
That's it.
Sounds like who's the fucking woman from Monsters Inc. She's like, you forgot to do your paperwork.
Yeah, Mike Wazowski. That guy.
That's what I sounded like.
Mike Wazowski.
Who is that? That's like the boss.
I don't know. I believe I've seen that movie once.
Okay.
Around the time it came out, and I don't need to see it again.
Like the secretary.
Something like, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. You think she'd be a Reds fan?
Right?
I think is she, you know what, that's another segment. Let's get some fictional characters and let's find out what team they'd be rooting for. I like this idea.
Wow.
I'm gonna write that down.
That's
I'm gonna
really
write that
good.
down.
Who would be a Yankees? Who would be a Yankees fan?
Who'd be a Yankees fan?
Mr. Incredible.
It's got it. Mr. Incredible's a Met, dude. Come on.
What?
Mr. Incredible's a fucking Mets fan.
No, bro. He's
all the
He's
way.
Yankees through and through.
Yankee. I think of a
What's her name? Is Elastigirl is a Mets fan. It's a Mets Yankees household. Jack is a Reds fan though. He's the odd one.
Do they have one of those signs in the front lawn that says like "House Divided"?
This is Reds country. This is the Bronx on the other side.
God.
I mean,
Well, give it up to Jack for being a Reds fan.
yeah.
Whatever the girl's name is,
Violet.
Maybe Violet. Well, she's gonna be a Cubs fan all the way.
Invisible Girl.
No doubt.
Invisigirl.
She likes the little Cub mascot.
Yeah.
She's like, that's cute.
Okay.
Doesn't know much about baseball. That's fine.
Yeah.
So it just goes with the Cubs. It's blue. It's got a little Cub. People like it. I wish I was a Cubs fan. Are you kidding me?
Whoa.
That'd be great.
Fuck.
That'd be great. Think
can't
about it.
say
You get a
that.
little Cub.
They were worse than us until 2016.
Yeah, but people have a short memory. Have you seen? I mean, give it up to them. Their fandom. They show up, and they're good again.
I don't want to talk about the Cubs anymore, dude. We did it one time. We talked about they're
We did.
wow, they bring all their fans. You know what? Fuck the Cubs.
Yeah.
Fuck the Cubs.
You know what?
At
you're
least
right.
at least they got passionate fans. I don't fucking care. You pieces of shit,
Yeah.
dude, coming in our
You know who
stadium
else has
going like, go
passionate
Cubs,
fans?
go. Fuck you.
Yeah. That's a bad song, by the way.
Go Cubs, go.
It's a little it's a little sloppy at the end. Cubs gonna
He
win
does that?
today.
He like trills or whatever.
Well, what
Yeah.
it's the whatever the lyric is there.
Oh. Okay.
How about you like this day? The Cubs are gonna. It's just a little like
Win
it's a little
today.
jumbled.
Yeah.
Win today.
Well,
You know.
I wish the Reds kind of had a song though. I would
They
pitch
do
it.
have a
I would-
song.
I would pitch it as this: We're red. We're red. The Reds are gonna win. We're red. We're the Reds. The Reds are gonna win.
Oh.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's
And,
good.
and then it's like synthy piano, like da, 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 da,
Mm.
da, da, da. It's like an 80s kind of song almost.
Yeah, it's good, and there's plenty of spaces in there for some claps. You know,
yeah.
we're Reds, gonna win.
Yeah.
The Reds are gonna win
They put a little-
today. Ba, ba, ba.
Put like a little harmony in between that, like a couple,
Yeah.
couple background
Yeah.
singers in there. You know,
This is good.
I think
This
that we
is
should
really good.
work on that. Yeah,
I like this.
maybe
I
that's
like
maybe
this
that's
idea.
maybe that's the intro to this show. That's how we get rid of this.
Yeah.
That
this
ball
stock
is
music.
gone. The stock music. We can still put Reds. We can still put Reds radio in there somehow.
Yeah, we can find a way to fit that in.
Yeah.
I really like this song idea though.
I love
This
it.
is really good.
We
were just coming up with these gems, aren't we?
We're cooking, dude. We're cooking. You could even add another verse in there that kind of breaks down like going down Joe Nuxfall Ave. Joe Nuxall Ave. Rounding third and heading for home. We're gonna go to the game or whatever, you know. Reds win. Reds win. Reds are gonna win. Yeah.
It needs to find a way to put in Marty's, and this one belongs to the Reds.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yes.
And that's when just the crowd just go crazy. Yeah. That's good, man. Yeah, because I think that is something that we need to keep alive. I mean, you see the sort of acronym that it's become that we put it, people put it in tweets or whatever. But we don't say it in the broadcast anymore. They don't say that in the radio broadcast at all.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we need to find a way to give it a home. You know?
Oh man, that's good, dude. That's good. We should.
I don't want it to die. People are gonna like years from now say like, why do we say this? What is this? Where does this come from? You know?
Yeah.
And no one's gonna remember.
And this one belongs to the Reds.
And this one belongs to the Reds.
I mean, I guess if someone is so bold, they would take it with permission from Marty. Yeah,
but I don't know if I want that.
Can you imagine John saying that? Would that be okay, you think?
And this one belongs to the Reds. I mean, I'm sure he would do a fine enough job with it. I like John Sadek a lot, but it's just a Marty thing. That is just that is his voice. That is his catchphrase. I don't think it belongs to anyone else.
I guess I don't know. I don't know what they would do then. How to keep it alive? Yeah.
Well, we'll put it in this song. I'll send it over to the Reds Instagram if they'll answer me.
Have you said stuff to the Reds Instagram?
Oh, you wait.
What's the last thing you said to the Reds Instagram?
Not the Reds Instagram, but I've sent a couple messages to other people associated with the Reds, and I've gotten zilch.
I've shot my.
Nada.
Yeah, I shot my shot before with some sports figures. Hey man, fucking great game, dude. Or not even that, just something like, I don't know. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know.
Let's go. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Thanks, man.
Let's go. I mean, I'm not looking for any sort of relationship or friendship with people, but I'm just oh yeah, that'd be cool if they like the message, whatever. Yeah.
What I've asked has warranted a response, or that's what my goal was. And I've not gotten it yet. I've not given up hope either. So I'm gonna just keep that in my back pocket. I'll let you know when I hear something back. But you just know that I'm out there. I'm on the road. I got my thumb up, walking down the street, just watching the cars go by. One of these days, though, they're gonna hop in. We're going to Reds country.
That's such a beautiful image. It's a beautiful. I love that.
Hop in.
And then the music starts.
Yeah, Reds win. Reds are gonna win.
Hell yeah.
Oh man. I don't know what time we're at, but I had one more baseball thing.
Okay.
If you have it in you.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this could warrant a short conversation or, we can talk about it for a little bit, but the big story of this past week was Clayton Kershaw hitting 3,000 strikeouts. Huge accomplishment for him. Congratulations to him, of course.
Couple clicks.
A couple of clicks for Kershaw, future Hall of Famer.
Bible verse on his hat on Pride Day. Sorry.
Did he really?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't mean to.
All right.
Hey.
Well,
hey. It's a weird day to do that.
Outside of that,
weird way to do. Weird day to do that.
It's an interesting choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very interesting, deliberate choice.
Very deliberate
to do that.
That's all right.
But this conversation isn't about him. It's about, we've been talking about
the strikeouts.
Who, if anyone, is next to do that. I believe the Cowboy Jeff Brantley said something along the lines of, I don't know if anyone is going to be able to do this ever again. He might be the last, if not the one of the last, or if not the last person to ever achieve this accomplishment. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think we're going to see someone reach 3,000 again? Because he's been, was he 40 something?
He's like younger than that. He's like 37 or something.
Is he? I thought he was closer to 40.
I thought so too, but he's like, he might even be 36, just turned 37 or something like that.
Oh wow.
It's crazy because he came in young.
Okay. Do you think he is 37?
Yeah.
Let's see, when did he first come on to the scene here?
2008?
2008.
Yeah.
2008. So an 18-year career. Wow. Yeah. Any guess on his win-loss percentage?
650.
697.
Oh, that's really fucking good.
Pretty solid. You put this guy in, you're feeling all right.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Wow. Best season in that regard, 2014. He won 87.5% of the time.
Holy shit.
Not too shabby.
I mean, not too shabby. He's been like, besides the injuries recently, he's like been like such a consistent pitcher for years. And you just rely. Yeah. He's just a workhorse. He goes in. He's been doing it for so long. God, like I would love to have a pitcher like that, like kind of a legend of the game. And 3,000 strikeout is incredible.
And all of them as a Dodger.
Has he been on the Dodgers his whole career? Right?
Yeah, since 2008.
Was he drafted by the Dodgers? Or was he drafted by? I want to say it was like
I would have to.
Was it Twins or something?
I would have to imagine. Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Is that at the top here?
Usually.
Who he's drafted by?
Yeah. Or it's in,
you keep talking.
Or it's in Wikipedia. I'm not sure, but I mean, Aaron Judge was drafted by the Oakland A's before he was.
Oh yeah.
So like it happens, not always, but
he was drafted by the Dodgers.
Nice.
2006.
Wow. Whew. 2 years in the organization.
Yeah. So do you think anyone's gonna make it again to 3,000?
Yeah, I think we had a really interesting conversation about this off camera, where it seems unlikely that anybody will get that at any point. I don't even know who the closest is right now, but there are some like guys in the league that are probably like, I don't know, 500 off or something like that, but they're like slowing down or they're going to retire soon. So yeah. So I think someone will do it. I think it's really tough at all times to say, at any time, to say that this record is unbeatable. It's really hard to believe something like that. Even Pete Rose's hit record, like these are all unbeatable. Even Tom Brady's Super Bowl run, it's unbeatable. It's not unbeatable. I meant for everything. It's not unbeatable. Yeah. These records are not unbeatable, So I think that it's possible that someone gets 3,000 in the future. I don't know when that will be. It won't be soon. We talked about how the game changes, every few decades. Maybe we're going to be like a more, you mentioned this, a more like kind of deception type pitcher, like a submarine pitcher, or an off-speed guy who's like throwing like weird shit. It's all about like hiding your hand or something like that. So that might change as a result from the consistent Tommy John surgeries these guys face and the amount of like pitching related injuries we have. So it almost seems like a natural progression.
Yeah. But
so maybe
just to add on to that, it's a big maybe. We don't know. We're kind of like predicting the not so, not near future at all. We're talking like, beyond 10, 15, 20 years maybe about where the sport goes. And to get people that longevity, you cannot be throwing 100 miles an hour as a starter. You just can't be. And expect to be okay. For the long term, you might have the best genes ever made, and you might get lucky and avoid major injuries. But odds are not in your favor. It's just an unnatural motion to put your arm through. It's something where it's like sidearm or submarine is a little bit more, easier on the joints. And it just your arm as a whole. I know putting spin on a ball is not good for your arm either. That can lead to some issues. I believe, and I could be making this up completely, but I remember something about when they really cracked down on sticky stuff. That's when, pitchers were worried about potential injuries because it's harder to put that spin on a ball without that grip on it. Fact check me all you want. I could be making that up completely, but it sounds like something I heard. But there needs to be a way, like, what I thought of is that anyone can hit 100-mile-an-hour fastball. People are seeing it. If you make contact, you're going to make good contact, and you're going to hit that ball far. It's just a matter of like, can I see this coming? Am I predicting this pitcher? Yes. Okay, that's gone. Doesn't matter how fast you're pitching it, But when you see a ball that looks like it's going to be right in the sweet spot and it dives down or, curves away, or it you think it's going to drop and it just kind of feels like it's rising towards you. That shit is so hard to hit.
Yeah.
So just like maybe there's a way to kind of reduce the stress on the arm and the body and focus more on spin, and just placement of the ball. That's kind of where I
agree.
I don't know if I'm even hoping that this happens, but kind of I am, because I don't want to see pitchers, be injured for, most of the season, especially star guys, because we're kind of experiencing that, it now on the Reds. No one wants to see that. Yeah.
No one wants to see like, their best pitcher get injured for the whole season. And that'll happen to like most teams. That'll happen to most teams this year. They're going to lose somebody on the rotation. And that might be for a few weeks, or it might be for an indefinite amount of time. So it is interesting to think about how that could change the game for not only like the way the game is played and maybe how much offense there is or how many strikeouts we get, but it will also change it for the health of the pitchers. Definitely, because it is crazy, dude. The amount of injuries. Like, I know if Ben were here, he would have like a really strong opinion about this. Because he, if I can speak for him in this moment, he'd probably say something like, back then we had all these pitchers going like a ton of innings and they never got injured or whatever. And like, yeah, that's true. And then our argument might be something like, oh, it's the velocity has increased so much, and that's why, it changed. And then he'll say probably something like, Nolan Ryan was pitching like 150 pitches a game. So yeah, it's an interesting conversation because you kind of expect pitchers to go long and do what they're doing, but like with this velocity, it's just going to promote shorter outings and more injuries. I think. I mean, if I mean, it used to be so rare that you'd see a starting pitcher throw 100. Like that was just like Randy Johnson, and then that was really it. Like that was like the guy, and then now it's like everybody on every team can at least throw 100 sometimes. So that was kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just talking starting pitching, not even relief pitching.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, wild.
Something's gonna have to change. Maybe the most near-term thing that I can think of is more teams adapting to a 6-man rotation. Maybe just giving those guys, everyone gets less starts throughout the year. They get more time in between games. That depends on the talent, of course. If the talent pool is not great to fill out 6 people pitching,
exactly.
Then that's never gonna happen. But I know that pitchers can be developed easier than position players can be. It's maybe a little bit easier to throw the ball decently well than it is to hit the ball. That's a crazy scale of difficulty. They're both really difficult, but you always hear the hardest thing to do in sports is hit a baseball.
Yeah, I agree.
So anyone, I mean, you see guys get struck out by someone lobbing it, 60 miles an hour. A position player gets in a blowout game.
Yeah. People strike out. Yeah. Adults strike out in my softball league, dude. And those
Jose Trevino struck out a guy.
Yeah, I saw that. Was it Schwarber?
I think it was. Something like that.
No, Schwarber.
It was that
happened to Schwarber.
No, it was that first game of the Red Sox series.
Schwarber got struck out by some other position player a few weeks ago. But anyway, yeah, I mean, like my friends in my league strike out, and the ball we use is like a, 18 or 14 inches. It's massive. It's like 14 inches in diameter, more than a foot or circumference. Hey, what's up, dude? But so yeah, it's really hard. It's still very hard to like play at any level. It's a fucking hard sport. So I do agree. It's much harder to hit the baseball than it is to throw maybe 1 inning of work or 2 innings of work if you're a reliever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I hope something changes though. I do want to see more guys get these strikeouts. I want to see more, larger pools of high talent. Yeah, is maybe what I want to see. I want to see more superstars of the game. That way, maybe we can get one and keep one for a long time. It's just we'll see what happens. What else you got? You have any closing thoughts? Anything on your mind?
I don't know. What's up, man? Trying to think of anything else that came up in the last few weeks with the Reds. No, not really, man. I feel pretty okay about this team, but it's hard to say from week to week. We'll see.
Yeah. It's again, it's an ebb and flow. It's take one step forward, 2 steps back sometimes.
Yep.
And it's hard to remain faithful that we're going to make any sort of run, and we're just talking about wild card contention,
Yeah.
So hopefully we get there. Hopefully we find our way. Maybe Hunter Greene can come back sooner than we expect, and Chase Burns get some opportunities to show what kind of guy he is. But until then, I'm not going to hold my breath this season. At this point, really looking forward to the All-Star break and trade deadline. That kind of season when things are heating up around transactions. I saw one where people are predicting Nolan Arenado going to the Dodgers. That's a fun little one that people are speculating on because Max Muncy might be Muncy. Max Muncy.
That's what we say behind closed doors.
I know. Muncy might be out for potentially longer than they think. So, hey, let's get a third baseman in. Let's get veteran Arenado, who does not want to be with the Cardinals. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's
very interesting.
It's gonna start heating up. I'm excited for that process too. And Yeah. Reds are gonna.
That will tell you
Tim
everything you
Anderson.
need to know.
Tim Anderson
Oh God.
is going to the Reds this trade deadline. cheap free agent pickup.
Yeah. The kind of guy, just let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
If he's good, great. If he isn't, oh well. Guys, we tried.
He tried.
We got a guy. Have you seen him on the White Sox?
Did
He
you
was
remember
amazing.
remember that walk-off home run at the Field of Dreams game?
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of which, you see
Mhm.
Tyler Stevenson's catcher gear for the Speedway Classic. The Reds are going to play against.
I
the Braves
did.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ricky Bobby,
Yeah.
vest, and then helmet.
I got nothing. I got nothing for you, man. I mean, I got nothing.
It was alright.
That-
It was cool.
The ballad of Ricky Bobby may as well just be ba ba ba. Good times never felt so good, so good, so good.
I actually
Same thing.
love that movie. I think it's so funny, and I don't like Will Ferrell movies. I really don't. I don't really
Mhm.
get Will Ferrell. I really don't get him as an actor or as a comedian. I know that sounds weird to say, but he just never resonated with me. Just never really got behind it. But the Ballad of Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights, is so funny. Especially because
And I love John C. Reilly.
Sacha Baron Cohen is in it as
Oh yeah.
the French guy who drives the Perrier car, and
Mhm.
that character is so funny. It's it's ridiculous.
You know, I never saw Blades of Glory all the way through until semi recently, and I
Mhm.
was like pleasantly surprised by that. So, maybe Talladega Nights is on my rewatch list. I think I must have seen it all the way through before. I must have.
Yeah,
It just did not leave an impact on me at the time, but I'll put it on my list.
yeah.
Just
watched-
after I finish my James Bond movies.
Oh,
Gotta
right.
work my way through those.
Oh man, I forgot you're going. Yeah, I saw Talladega Nights on in a hotel room, and I was like, damn, I haven't seen this movie in years. This is pretty fucking funny. So I showed Federica, and she thought it was funny too. So
Yeah.
maybe something worth
All right.
revisiting.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say? What'd you say something about before that?
Blades of Glory?
No. I was like, you were doing something before.
James Bond?
James Bond. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you start in the 50s?
Just
no.
no. I'm just watching
Doing the Daniel Craig stuff. Yeah.
the Daniel Craig stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go back and watch some like Pierce Brosnan stuff. I don't need to watch Sean Connery.
Me neither.
I'm pretty sure he like beat women. And I don't find him that interesting as an actor. And I've seen Temple of Doom, where he was Indiana Jones's dad.
Oh,
Whatever. I don't give a shit about him.
what was that?
I didn't grow up. When? That was that's the original trilogy movies.
Oh, it was an Indiana Jones
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I know him from that
Fly off in
movie.
a hot air balloon.
100,000. He does.
Yeah, they fly off in a hot air balloon.
Huh.
Yeah.
I can't remember this movie
Crazy shit.
or what it's called, but it was even crazier than that. It was like Sean Connery on a submarine. I was like with a crew of people, and they're like fighting like a monster.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's
I
called.
can't imagine him doing supernatural shit.
Yeah, it was weird, and he was like the esteemed like professor character who was like the knowledge behind the expedition that they were doing. I think it's called like 110,000 Leagues Under the Sea or something like that.
Oh. I feel like that's a book. I feel like it's a very well-known book, maybe turned movie.
I don't remember what.
We gotta take a Sean Connery break here. What's going on with this dude? Is he still alive?
No, he died.
Place your bets. Okay. So it's okay to watch this movie still.
I mean, I like you said.
I mean, whatever.
We grew up in the Pierce Brosnan era. So,
Yeah. 007 Nightfire PS2.
bro.
That's when I think of James Bond, I just go to him. I think of that guy.
Yeah, I do too.
I still think of him even after watching these Daniel Craig ones, which I do enjoy so far. I think
Yeah.
they're great, but he doesn't look like a James Bond like my boy Pierce.
Now he does, but yeah, I agree because that's ingrained in me as well. I just remember that first game. I don't know if you ever played the first. I had a 07 or 007 game on PS1 where you were trying
Yeah.
to hijack that jet in the military base, and you're walking down. It's like the first mission. You're walking down this path. It's like a snowy path. It's like a wooded area, and you go to the little military camp, and your goal is to like hijack their jet. And so you have to go in, like take out all the guards, and then they find you, and they put the alarm out, and all these guys start attacking you. You gotta like fend them all off, and then hop in the plane and turn it around and fly away. It's pretty badass. That was Pierce Brosnan. Whatever. Fucking
Brosnan.
Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan.
Paul McCartney.
My favorite James Bond movie.
Paul McCartney's favorite Bond is. Oh,
Man.
we should somehow get someone on that.
They're all
anybody-
Brits.
You know anybody in the industry who can talk to Paul McCartney?
I think you know more people in the industry than I would. Mitch has connections. People don't know Mitch has
Not
connections.
true at all.
Dude, he's greasing palms back there,
Yeah,
and he's making deals in back alleys. He knows people.
I saw what the fuck is his name?
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, I did see Alec Baldwin. What's the fucking guy's Anthony DiSclafani? I saw his parents in Manhattan. And they
walking around. You recognized him?
Nope. They came up to me. I saw my Reds hat, and they said, Are you a Reds fan? And I was like, yeah. Are you guys? Like, I'm a huge Reds fan. I've been a Reds fan for my whole life. I'm like, oh yeah, we're Anthony DeSclafani's parents. Like, because he was pitching that night in New York or something, or he just got traded and they were just visiting New York. And I was like, yeah, what? That's amazing. Are you here for the game? Like, yeah, we're here to watch him. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, have fun, guys. Like, so cool to see Reds fans out here.
Funny.
So random.
What a weird group of people to meet. He just pitched the other night against old friend Lorenzen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a Royals Diamondbacks game, and Lorenzen came out on top. My boy. Yeah.
Lorenzen is
Battle of X-Reds.
Lorenzen's a pretty good pitcher. I mean, he's not the best, but he's like a solid kind of guy you can rely on in some way.
Yeah, man. Fucking Mikey Biceps. Are you kidding me?
No hitter, bro. Mikey Biceps.
Yeah, no hitter with the Phillies.
With the Phillies, yeah.
He's been around. He's been around to a lot of teams after he left the Reds.
Yeah, he's strong as fuck.
Yeah, dude. And he's making it work.
Yeah, good for him.
Good for him. All right.
That's his.
Well,
that's what I had to say about. That's how I had it. That's my last words, my last thoughts.
Yeah.
That whole roundabout explanation in the conversation.
Yeah. To answer the question, yeah, I think someone's gonna hit 3,000 strikeouts.
Oh God, I forgot we were talking about that.
Yeah. I think that's what we're talking about. Like the year 20. I'm looking at the year right now just to make sure. 2040.
Okay.
2040? That's when someone's. Yeah.
Oh,
that's my bet. Placing it out there.
I mean, will the A's be in Vegas by then?
The first year in Vegas.
The first year in Vegas in 15 years.
First year in Vegas. And we're gonna witness history once more with Paul Skeens. Of course, he's wearing Dodger blue, pitching 3,000. His 3,000th strikeout.
Oh man, can you imagine him getting looking back and he becomes the best pitcher in the league? Wow.
I mean, I'm not gonna doubt him right now. Yeah, he's doing well for himself. Someone like that. It could be any young guy. He's got a bright future. So we'll see.
Abbott.
Nah, fuck him.
What the fuck? Oh, by the way, that movie is called The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Okay, so it's not. This is like some Kingsman shit.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So put that on
Gotcha.
your list, dude.
Yeah, sure.
Right above
How about
Sinners.
that? Oh, it's on my list. It's on
Dude,
my list. I'm gonna.
fucking
Hey,
just-
everyone, watch Sinners. Michael B. Jordan. Mitch loves this movie. He's seen it twice in theaters. He fucking can't stop recommending it.
Mhm.
It's on my list. Okay, I'm thinking about it. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
Probably not in theaters at this point, but I'm
Yeah.
going to watch it. It's fine.
As a music guy like yourself, I think you're gonna love this movie. So
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'll give you my feedback when I watch it. It'll be within the year for sure.
Okay, cool.
Before October. There you go. Before October.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. And then I'm gonna play Alan Wake 2 before that.
Oh God, guys, play Alan Wake 2. Please keep this company alive. I swear.
Somebody alive.
Please support them.
Oh yeah. Rami, dude, don't lay down there, bro. Sweet. Yeah, sounds good, man. Sounds like a plan.
Heck yeah, man. Well, I think that's been it. What do you
Yep.
think?
That's it.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Reds 2 games below 500. They got the Mets coming up. No, it's who's after
2
the
games above 500.
2 games above 500 is what I meant to say. Next after the All-Star break.
One game above 500. Correction.
Whatever.
After tonight.
They are facing the Mets in New York. I'm trying to go to one of those games. And then they're facing the Rockies, I believe, before the All-Star break.
That's right. That's right. I think I'm gonna go to one of those games. Or no, I'm actually gonna. I'll probably see them when the Rays come to town.
Okay,
Oddly enough, yeah.
that'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they beat them. They kind of suck, I think.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
And then we'll see you guys at the Speedway Classic. We're going.
Oh,
we're running a show from the infield.
Yeah, we got exclusive access to. We're actually going to be in a car going around the game as it's happening, and we're going to do a live podcast from inside the car. So be on the lookout for that.
Wow.
That's going to be a fun one. But until then, keep your hopes high, but your socks even higher.